All right, thank you. Okay, welcome everyone to the March 18th Northampton Urban Forestry Commission meeting. Calling this meeting to order. I do not see anyone, and the meeting is being recorded, by the way. I don't see anyone from the public, so we will dispense with public comment. We will move to the minutes of 2/18/2026. And I didn't know folks had a chance to read them. If you did not, please do so.
I'm all set.
And I will now.
Good. I'm sorry, Molly, say that again.
I have not read them, but I am now.
Well, yeah, you can take the time to read them.
Okay.
Yep, please do.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I am done.
Okay. Anyone else need a couple minutes?
I'm almost done.
Okay, so take your time. Thank you.
I'm still getting a little sand timer thing when I try to click on my video, so I'm just gonna keep waiting. The hourglass, that's what it's called. Yes.
Yep. Yep. Sand waiting thing. I knew
Yeah.
what you meant.
Right.
I'm done.
All right. I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented unless there's any.
I will make a motion to accept the meeting minutes as presented.
I'll
Okay,
second
there's
that.
all right, we have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing no discussion, Bonnie, could you have a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Rich Parasoliti,
Yes.
Susan Lofthouse,
Yes.
Molly Hale,
Yes.
Jen Werner,
Yes.
David Lukens.
I wasn't at the meeting, but I did read the minutes.
Okay, Richard Parrish
Yes.
and Kent Johnson.
Oh,
Kent's
Kent.
muted.
He's muted.
Hi, Kent. Kent, did you approve the minutes? You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Okay. All right. It's all right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kent, you're so excited because I finally sent you the list for 2025.
I
So,
know. I can't think
mean,
about anything else.
I know. I'm so sorry.
He and Rich Parrish are both over the moon.
You can thank Abby Phelps for doing all the data entry. If you ever run into her at work, she did all the data entry, and we had to try to just that one page was a little off. There's a whole bunch of fields because we are planting different cultivars, so you have to continue to add the new cultivars, or you get all these error messages all over it. So it's, yeah. So, anyways,
Hey, Rich, I'm gonna try to sign out and come in again because I'm having
Sure.
a lot of trouble with this.
Okay. All right. We'll be here.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So our next order of business is the chair report, and really most of the things that I have to discuss are in the other bullet points on the agenda. I don't have a particular chair report other than I am pleased to tell you that the snow is melting. And it looks like winter might be losing its grip, which is great. So I'm enjoying being outside, and it's even though it's a little blustery today, but so if unless someone has questions about anything in general, no. Okay, great. Okay. All right, Molly's coming back in. We can go to our next agenda item, which is the care and maintenance existing trees discussion. And Rich, put a pruning updates because you're still going at it, which is great, and please continue. All right, Molly. But it would be great to hear from you if you wouldn't mind.
All right. Yeah, we've still been working at it. And to date, we've done over 650 trees have been addressed. That includes everything from, the 2, 3 year old trees with minor snipping to the 10-year-old trees that are needing thinning out or overgrowing sidewalks and streets and such. So, and so I recall that last year the pruning went on until about April 3rd. But then last winter was warmer. This winter is cooler. So we'll we'll ask for your guidance when you think it's time to call it, Rich. But we'll probably get another couple of weeks in.
I think it would be to continue on would be a couple of weeks like we did and just reevaluate it the 1st of April. We'll just be in touch.
Yeah. All right. Okay, then, so that is the pruning, and we left a large accumulation for your crew there over by the YMCA today to address those
Okay.
several elms that needed attention. But okay, then in the tree maintenance program that we've been talking about, with the addition of the 2025 tree population, Kent can update his map with all the current data. And then with that, we'll look at it and see how the target trees, the young target trees are distributed around the city relative to the volunteers. And I think in the very near term, we'll start to kind of carve up the city into zones and suggest to the volunteers the area that they could be responsible for. And at the same time, what I want to do is send out an information sheet to those folks describing the tasks that would be most valuable. The weeding, the mulching, the tree guard issues, snipping off the shoots around the base, things such as that. We are still left with the issue is, do we have, or can we think of any alternate areas other than the Spring Grove DPW and Locust Street to have a weed dumping spot and or mulch drop? So we need to, Sheldon Field was mentioned. That could be a good alternative on that side of the city. We've got Locust Street, we've got Spring Grove. So those three could be very helpful for mulch pickup. But for the weed dumping is, one area that we would like to have an alternate. So if Rich, if you want to continue thinking on that, a place that, whether it's like somewhere, a thought occurred to me. There's by the public gardens, community gardens there off Burt's Pit Road.
Yep.
Next to Village Hill. They have some kind of compost pile themselves, or there's the hillside. Is that, could something in there be working?
They have so they have a compost pile that they generate from composting the plant material that's there, and then we provide them with wood chips. So I have a note to myself to email Larry, who's the master gardener, who is, I think, like the president of the gardens, or at least their spokesperson, to see if we could maybe sort of piggyback on their operation. The only thing that we would have, the only thing we'd have to do is that gate is, there's a gate there now and it's locked. So when you drive around past the gardens and you take a right and you sort of go around the corner, there is now a gate there that they keep locked. So we would just have to make sure that we're whoever's doing the work, it's during, I guess you could say, hours of their operation. And I'm not sure how they operate it. But I will send her an email either later today or tomorrow just to sort of connect with her over the phone. But that would be ideal because there's wood chips and a place to compost.
Okay.
So that would be a good section. Sheldon Field, although it it's a good location in that area, I think I would be afraid that if we had an impromptu dumping area, that it would become
Mhm.
a little more than just a place for weeds. And that's my,
True. Yeah.
and we already,
Yeah.
we have issues with people just pulling up and dumping things in the parking lot, and
Mhm.
then we have to clean
Okay.
them up. So trying to have it in a place where it's a little more controlled. The other thing that I have is to talk to the parking commission to see if we can potentially use one of their places downtown potentially. And I was thinking under the new South Street Bridge, there's an area
Oh,
there
yeah.
that potentially could create as a composting spot and also mulch area because we do bring mulch down there periodically and they spread it
Yeah.
around underneath the bridge just to sort of, keep the dust down and neaten things up. So that's also another place that I was thinking about. So, and I will reach out to both of those folks and I'll get back to you.
All right. Very good. Yeah, that could help clarify that matter.
Okay,
I have another idea, just popped into my head.
sure.
What about that garden that's at the synagogue? I wonder if they have a compost pile.
I believe they probably do, and I know they have a mulch pile there because they use a lot of the, arborist wood chips. Um,
I
that's
mean,
all.
it's not ideal. Ideal would be if it was a city-owned property, but
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, we could overwhelm
Abundance.
them.
Yeah, abundance
Eh.
farm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth, I mean, it's worth a conversation, but also the DPW yard's not too far from there. So
Mhm.
I think,
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it needs to be more spread out.
yeah.
Mm.
And I think really, I mean, Rich, you're sort of like trying to identify places that are for this in locations where we have planted like the heaviest, where we have the most plantings. Like obviously, if we decide to do the trees that are out on Ridgeview, for example, someone's going to have to drive there.
Sure. Yeah.
And that might be a case where if you do the work, we may end up, there might be instances where we go and actually pick the material up because it's so far away for people to lug, and that's like an outlier. But,
Mm.
like Ward 3, Ward 4, where we've planted a lot of trees is in the downtown area.
Yeah, I was hoping something closer to downtown.
Okay.
So, but South Street might work for that. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Um, then can you say roughly how many of those green buckets DPW has currently?
Couple, probably several hundred.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then if we could plan to distribute those to our 16, 18 volunteers, maybe 5 or 6, whatever, to get them started with for their pickup weeds and mulch. All right, so I'll get back when it's time to consider that distributing the buckets. It certainly will have to be after planting season because you'll need them there.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, do you have any thoughts on how many folks might be doing this or how many pods of people, work groups, do you know? And you don't have to
There
answer
is,
that right now, but
yeah.
I might try to, the buckets break UV, so I have to order more, so I might incorporate a few extra in our next order.
Okay, so like I said, there's 16 people on our volunteer list, and some of them will be working as teams. So
Okay.
something less than or maybe a dozen pods or something.
Okay.
Um,
That's great.
and well, it sounds great so far. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll check back at the end of the year.
You're motivating me to like look at the trees and think, oh, I could take care of this tree. That needs
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
Yeah, giving people ownership of the trees, I think, is a nice plus.
About how many trees do you think each pod will get?
Well, if we just roughly say that, what, there are 150 trees in each of the last 3 years planted, roughly. That's 450, 500 divided by 12 pods. That's what, 50.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, it is.
Mm.
But um, yeah, this work can be done over several months, and whatever gets done is good. So
if
Are we
it,
asking them to water too?
no.
Okay.
And I would say anytime they're out there working and they see the homeowner, I think we should ask the homeowner to look into watering, but no, we can't expect them to haul water around.
Yeah.
it's huge effort to try to carry water around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to put a bucket of water in the trunk of your car.
Well, Rob always used those, what do you call them? The jugs with the little mouth, and then they like water cooler jugs.
Mm.
Yeah. No,
Still,
let's
they're
just
heavy.
forget about the watering now.
Yeah.
It's I've done a certain amount of this, and sometimes you just have horrible weeds, and it like you work and work and work on one, and then other times it's just neatening up and it's easy peasy. So sometimes you can whip along and do a whole bunch, and then sometimes you get stuck. Like somebody planted daylilies around them or something
Mm.
crazy, and then we used to like when we were doing this a couple summers ago, a little bit, we'd with Rich's support, we'd knock on the door. We're gonna dig up your daylilies. You have a bucket. We can put them in a bucket for you. Try to do it nicely so that they didn't feel like somebody's coming around ripping out their posies.
Yeah, I think in the very beginning, I think it's going to be I think because this hasn't been done in quite some time, I think it'll be a little, a lot of pulling of weeds and just sort of reestablishing um, the mulch ring around the tree. But I think if we're able to sustain this over a period of time, over a few years, I think it'll become easier because it's just routine weed pulling, adding mulch. It'll just be
Mhm.
physically easier. Because a lot of the trees that I look at today that we've planted, that like say Robin, we planted probably 5, 6, even 8 years ago, there's turf or some sort of semblance of weeds and turf right up against the trunk. Um, and some trees you might find that we really don't have to do anything to because they're so far established. I mean, I was looking at we took the tree guards off of the trees on South Street were on the curve where we planted those London plane trees. And I can't believe even the one that got run over by a car and we propped back up is still like, it's found its way to becoming to becoming straightening itself out. And, I mean, mulch is beneficial, but I think really concentrating on the trees that really need some assistance with some fresh mulch, some of the younger trees as well, probably is really going to do them a world of good. Um, so I think it's great. So I will reach out to Larry and I'll reach out to the parking folks. And then Rich, I'll get back to you once I have some answers from from those folks. And then maybe you can I'll I'll order some extra buckets. And we'll go from there. Unless if you have
Yeah,
some.
probably the more buckets we can give the individuals, the better, just so they don't have to make as many trips.
Okay. Yep. I can, we can order
Yeah.
as many as we need to get the job done.
Okay.
I should be
And
able to
then,
get the
oh, sorry.
map updated probably by next week. I've got kind of a busy week this week, but I think next week I'll be able to get you a new map.
Okay.
And I should be able to do a planting report too and update some of the reports that I've done. So Rich, personally, I'll send those to you, I guess, and you can
Sure.
forward them
Yeah. Thank you.
to the other members.
Yep.
And if it's something that
Rich,
isn't,
could I ask, so assigning different pods to all the trees, is that your domain or is somebody else doing it?
It would be mine.
Hmm.
And do you want to have input to it?
Yeah, and we could do it offline, but I'd love to maybe think about somebody who could just focus on the schools, like as
Yeah.
opposed to, you know,
Yeah, that's an
forestry,
option.
so something like that.
Yeah. Okay. I was just, I'll get back with you then when we have a map that we can look at to talk from. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right.
All right. So we'll be in touch, Rich.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for Rich or at the moment?
No,
Okay.
but thanks for doing it all. Can't wait to see the results.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I mean, this is great. I don't know if any of you folks follow Francesco Farini on Facebook on his arboriculture and urban forestry little Facebook blog that he has, but a lot of the theme he consistently talks about and he shows a lot of pictures of trees that have been planted all over Italy and in the greater European Union that have just been planted with abandonment. And I mean, literally, like they're abandoned. And he's constantly preaching that, it's one thing to plant a million trees, he said, but it's a whole nother thing to take care of them after the fact.
Mm.
And he said it's unfortunate, he would say that, and I would agree with him that it's unfortunate that many people can sort of get behind doing these massive tree plantings and for whatever reason, whether it's for for environmental purposes or, and of course, then it gets tied also to, um, different communities that are trying to increase their, sustainability in regards to like stormwater runoff and retention and things of that nature. But if they don't take care of them, they're not, there's, it's one thing to plant a lot of trees. And I've done that a lot. I planted a lot of trees in my career before we all worked together. And, a lot of those trees, not a lot, but I would say a good portion of those trees didn't make it because we didn't take care of them.
Mm.
I guess that's my point, and I think it's important. It's a theme that I'd rather plant fewer trees every year and start to shift our focus on this young tree care. So I'm very supportive of making this happen. So I will do whatever in my power to make it happen. So, but thank you, Rich, for spearheading this. All right, our next agenda item is our spring 26 tree planting, Arbor Day, Earth Day discussion. So there's a couple of different discussion pods. I don't know, David, if you have any updates for us in regards to JFK.
I've just got one positive update. The principal is very supportive of
Okay, great.
as many trees as we can plant.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
oh,
Ooh.
Okay. Now, all right, so now we have to navigate the maintenance, the location and making sure the maintenance folks are okay with it.
How's that coming?
Well, David, I
I
don't know.
think, yeah, Rich, I think you and I are going to go out and stake, right?
Yes.
And then I'll invite Tony to take a look. But he said he also has encouraged us.
Okay.
That's great.
And then I think, David, we should probably do that sooner than later so we can actually walk around in the front and actually look at the remaining snow piles that are there. Because there is a little bit of tree damage in the front. So we might, instead of replacing those trees, we might want to move them somewhere else, move them out back. So at least we replace the quantity, just not in that location. So I don't know if you're available next week. I'll reach out to you in an email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then we'll just let Tony know that we're going to be out there. And then, Jen, I guess, so Jen and I met, that was back in, I can't remember. Was it the end of February?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So we put together a list of plant material. Now, let me just find it so I can share it with you. Sorry, I don't have it in front of me. Jen, spreadsheet. Okay. Let me see if I can share this. Multiple. Let's see. Google Chrome. Spring Nursery. I don't know if everybody can see that. No, can everyone see that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So that is the list that Jen and I came up with. And this list of trees does not include, let me just make it a little smaller, does not include the trees, any trees at JFK, right, Jen?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did have one question too, whether I didn't include any elms in here.
Okay.
And I didn't know, I just don't know what the best varieties, like the most current recommendations for varieties, because I'm thinking we should probably throw a few elms in there, maybe 5 or something. So I was thinking possibly those on some elms on Prince Street, going up to L3 KEO.
Yep.
So that that's one thing I wanted to ask. And I basically based this off of talking to Rich, but also I have some lists. I don't have huge lists of stuff we didn't already fulfill that that we need trees for, but also based on kind of trying to have some small, medium, and large available to, just backfill. Once we get sites, we can backfill. And if there's special requests or if we have an area that we need some other types of trees, we then could just purchase those in the fall, just so we could get some trees here. And that's kind of the way I came up with that list. And I just got back from being away for a couple of weeks, so I haven't gone, and the snow's gone, so I can start going out and re-putting stakes in and start getting some dig safes in. And Bob Haxby has agreed to contact the neighbor that wanted the plantings done on what's the name of that street down
I'm forgetting too. It's like a big project.
Yeah,
A neighborhood planting project. They submitted the paperwork.
Sherman Ave.
German. Thank you.
Yeah. So, but I met with Bob, and he is going to be the point person for that project. Once he needs tree selections and stuff, I can meet with him again. But he was going to contact the person, and I gave him some setback brochures because some of those trees need to be setbacks. And so I gave him all the information about the right of way, distance on the street, etc. So he's going to be the person who's figuring that stuff out. And then I'll work with him just because we needed somebody to, besides me, to really um, just talk to him and talk to the neighbors, and he'd be good at that. So that was great. I met with him
Thanks
before.
for recruiting.
Yeah, before I left. Well, he was excited to do it. So, and he's done a lot of planting and he's great with people. So that'd be good.
I just want to add on so people are aware that Jen said it's basically based on small, medium, large. It's based on a whole lot of criteria that a lot of it's just her general experience, her observation of what trees grow well, what we've
That's
had luck with,
That's true.
what trees we haven't planted as many of,
Mhm.
what trees have again done well and to diversify. There's a lot of different things that go into this.
That's true.
Like what
Yeah.
people like too.
Right.
What works with the kinds of spaces we have to plant too. Like
That's
each
true.
tree has its own habits.
Mhm.
This is very true. I think,
And oh, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, I think if David and I can get out to JFK and get that stake next week, then we'll have the ability to we'll get the school's approval or their, if we have to reduce some of the planting areas, and then we can talk about, I guess the 18th, right? For April 18th, we're going to be doing, I think we want to try to do a bare root planting.
That's the day of service is the 18th.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Yep.
Yeah. So
What about dig safe? What support do you need, Rich?
Well, I think what I'll do when David and I are out there, we'll stake everything and I'll take photographs of it. It's
Oh.
because it's going to be, and I will probably just make a map and I'll just do an overview and just like the trees that are in the back, in the way back by the cemetery, dig safe won't go out that far. So that's a trench permit thing, but it would just be just taking photos as we're going. And then if there's trees that the school department, says that they prefer not to have planted, then I would get rid of the photos of them or pull the stakes out so they're
Right.
not, so dig safe doesn't bother.
So
And the trench permit.
if Barbara hasn't already reached out to the school, is that okay? Can she do that?
Yes. Yes. I believe I sent her an email and said that was fine.
Yeah, I
And
think so too.
Okay. Yep.
But I'll prompt her if she hasn't. David, do you want her to copy you on things?
She doesn't need to. No. I mean,
Okay.
she can if she wants.
Okay.
I have a question, Rich. You mentioned I thought we were going to try to do grow bags on April 18th instead of bare root.
We can. It just
Mhm.
depends upon what we have
Okay.
or what's available. We might have a better variety in a bare root. I don't know the answer until we actually get a number. I think we need to, because we need to have a number and then we got to back into the nurseries with the number.
Okay. And then
So-
And
just a comment, Jen, on the nursery order, which looks great. I'm noticing that there aren't a lot of evergreen conifers, pines, spruces. Is that because they're hard to procure from the nursery or because they don't flourish?
usually we can't plant evergreens as street trees.
Mhm.
And that's mostly what we plant is in the tree belt or the right of way. So we certainly could potentially plant evergreens behind JFK a lot as a wind, we certainly could do it there. But that's really why we don't get them. Also, most of the time, evergreens are ball and burlap also. So you can get smaller ball and burlap ones, but my experience, I don't know, Rich, do you have a different experience? Most of the
No.
time, their evergreens are usually B&B. So, but we just don't. We could get some, like if there was a planting at a school, for example, somewhere on a campus of a school, or we certainly could get evergreens. But it's mostly because where we're planting is either in the tree belt or the right of way. So, and we can't really plant evergreens there just because of their shape. So, and most of them, if they're on streets with salt, they don't like that, like salt spray, because they have leaves all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question too.
Mhm.
I'm interested to see that there's a lot of bald cypress. Have we planted that one before?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh. I think of that as like growing in the swamps of the Okefenokee,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a
Planted them
street
all
tree?
over the place.
Yeah,
Wow.
once they get established, they're actually pretty drought tolerant, weirdly.
Huh.
But there's some on Barrett Street. There's a whole line of them on Barrett Street.
Oh.
And they're
Prospect Street.
Oh,
Barrett
Barrett
Street.
Street.
That
Oh,
goes between Jackson and
I know what you mean.
King.
Along that field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know just what you mean. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Oh.
And there's been other places, and Shawnee Brave in particular is the shape of the crown is narrow. So that's another.
Huh.
They're not columnar, but it's a little more narrow.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
What kind is it that's planted on Barrett Street? Is that Shawnee Brave?
No, species.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Shawnee Brave's kind of new, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been around for a while, but it's designed for more for municipal plantings, planting beds, design work because of its size. I think it only gets to be about 40 feet, 40 to 50 feet tall and about 30 feet wide.
Mm.
So, but we've had a lot of good luck. Another place where we planted quite a nice row of them that's done well is on Woodlawn Avenue on the Child's Park side.
Oh, yeah.
Where we had multitude of they were silver maples that were all just in this
Oh, yeah,
various
yeah,
states
yeah,
of
yeah.
decline. And we planted them I think in like 2007, 2018, and they're huge.
Yeah, that was yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about those. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I planted a couple. There's one actually, there's one, Molly, if you ever walk down North Main Street in Florence, if you
Oh.
walk down your street, take
Okay.
a left on Bardwell, then take your right on North Main Street on that
Yeah.
stretch of sidewalk right before you come to like the back entrance of the casket company. There's a bald cypress there in the tree belt. I planted
Okay.
that 20,
Huh.
I planted that 20 plus years ago.
I'll check it out.
So, and it's I don't know how it does it, but it's loving every minute of where, I mean, it looks like it's happy. It doesn't actually tell me it's happy, but it doesn't have any symptoms of that it's failing. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then we've planted them. You go down Finn Street, where Finn and Prospect meet right in the corner. There's a very large bald cypress that we planted. I mean, they're just all over the place.
Oh,
There's some
okay.
in the industrial park.
Yeah.
on-
Yep. It
All right.
takes a little bit, but once they get, as
Yeah.
Jen said, once they get rooted in, boy, they take off. They're very happy. They're super
wow.
salt tolerant too. That's
Oh,
another
wow.
reason why we plant them.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah. And I
Right.
think it's amazing to me that how sturdy they are, and we're always looking for an alternative. I mean, the honey locust is been sort of a bulletproof, and the cultivars have been sort of bulletproof. And it's just that it's nice to actually have something like the bald cypress that is also, when established, virtually bulletproof,
Mhm.
which, has a different, different type of leaf arrangement. So
Yeah.
I like them, but
Sounds great.
I'm gonna stop sharing. I just want to, so I did get one of these nursery lists back from Amherst Nursery. So let me just hold on a second. Let me just open this back up. And I just want to, and
We're trying to stick with mostly grow bags, because they're just easier to move around for Rich's crew, but also the volunteers. aren't big fans of ball and burlap. If we have to get, sometimes we have to get ball and burlaps, and a lot of times we can get a little smaller ball. We just don't have the capacity to move big. And you have to dig such deep holes, and they have to haul away soil, and it's just not the best situation. But that's another factor that goes into it.
So, here is, so you can just sort of see if you can see that. Can everyone see that? So that's from Amherst Nursery. That just came yesterday. So we have everything that we asked for, Jen, is available.
Right.
Total of 50 trees. So it's $8,805.
Great.
Oh, they have the magnolias you wanted.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did is
Nice.
I put I made the caliper up to 1.5 inches because I think that you had indicated that in his inventory everything was at 1 inch.
Yeah.
So I emailed them and asked them. I said, "Look, 1.5 inches we'd prefer." So these are all on the 1.25 to 1.5 inch size, which is
That's good. That's much better because those
Yep.
inch ones are a little,
Yep.
they're a little small. Yeah, that's
So-
great.
Okay,
Thank
so I'm just waiting for Chestnut Ridge to get back to us, and then I just had a question about the Halasia. So we originally talked about getting the Halasia,
The Yukon bells.
yeah, and
Mhm.
Chestnut Ridge has them, but I think they're B&B.
Mm.
So I need to just circle back with Alyssa and figure out if they have them in grow bags. If they have them in the grow bags or the number 15 bags, then how many of those do you think we should get?
I think I had it on the list. Probably it was 5, I bet.
Okay.
I just wanted more diversity for a smaller flowering tree. I was mostly thinking of those for setbacks for Christina.
Okay. So
Just something. And that one was developed locally, like at Yukon. So it's
Okay.
Cool.
it's a native Carolina silver bell. Just the
People are
name.
gonna like that.
Yeah, just something.
It's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah. Trying to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had a couple other questions, Rich. Just I haven't
Sure.
had time to hold on a second. Did you have a chance to find out about Smith Voc campus?
About us planting on the campus?
Yeah, like within the campus,
No.
because there was some question about because of the ownership of the
Can we
Yep.
pay for trees?
property.
Yes.
Yeah, Yeah.
I did not, and I will check on that tomorrow, and I'll send you an email on my
great. That'd be
apologies.
great. And then the other one was St. Mary's Cemetery, whether you got a hold of that, the gentleman that's in charge over there to plant on the other side.
No, I did not.
Okay.
But that's also on my list to do. And I also need to, at the same time, it's kind of good that I waited. I wanted to wait till the snow melt, but they had some equipment issues, so they had to plow the sidewalk with a truck, which
Right.
Unfortunately they got a little close to some of those trees. I don't believe they damaged the trunks, but they definitely like those. That would be a place. Rich, where it'd be great to have some assistance and actually reestablishing the tree wells and putting new tree diapers. Actually, if we had some time this spring before, in between planting or maybe before planting, just because what happened is they got there was just so much snow and the street just, when they plow the street, the snow fills the sidewalk and their snowblower they had broke. So I will talk to Roy about both things. And Rich, if you're out and about, I don't know if you want to just take a ride by there and take a look at it. That would
Yeah,
be
we could, Rich Parish, between the two of us, we could
okay.
put together a crew to do that even before we're planting. If people wanted to, we could get some stuff
Okay.
dropped off and fix that. I think those were my questions.
Good.
Oh, we have some, is the snow gone from the nursery?
Yeah, for the most part.
So somebody could go down there and just check to see what is alive down there.
Yep, I can tell you that I was informed that the red buds are all dead.
Oh,
Mhm.
So, but that doesn't surprise me. They
I
just,
think they were dead before.
yeah, I think they were. There might be a few ones from last year that didn't make it either, but I would just wait to be. This is the reason, Molly, they call them dead buds.
dead buds. Are
That
they,
that actually is a nickname.
did they die because of the cold?
The ones from that were held over from the previous year died from desiccation.
Mhm.
Oh,
And then the ones from this year, I haven't determined if they're dead yet, and it could be a combination of things. But
mm,
the other thing too is that you mentioned watering. We are still in a drought,
yeah.
so I think probably starting off, I mean, we got a lot of rain the other day, but I think we need to have more consistent rainfall, and it has been sort of sporadic after the snow
Mhm.
stopped. So I think just going back and checking all the trees we planted in 25 to make sure their donuts are secured, and if they need water bags, we'll put water bags on them, and we'll have to probably start watering, come May. And again, it depends on like if we get rain. It also depends upon if it warms up and it gets windy. That's another issue where you have a lot of desiccation. So we just have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, Jen, I don't know if you have time. Maybe you want to stop by next week and we can just take a walk down there. Just let
Yeah,
me
I
know.
definitely, that would be helpful to me. And
Okay.
there's a couple other, we should, maybe on the same time, we can walk down there and then do a drive-by by the Florence Field fence.
Yes.
And
Sure.
also, a couple cross streets on the bike path. Those are the other,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Do you want me to text you or email you?
Sure. Just text me is fine.
Yep,
Yep.
okay.
And
That'd be
then,
helpful if I had some, because I do have a list of what I think should be down there.
yep.
And then there was some stuff that was too big, that was dead, that was too big for us to move in the pen, so
Yep.
from previous years.
And I
Not a
haven't
lot.
finished the press release yet, but I have a deadline
Okay.
late March to get it to you.
Okay.
All right, let me write myself a note here.
So next week.
And then speaking of the press release, it would be helpful if we could capture, not necessarily in the press release, but at least information for the mayor's office about Rich, if you could we might be done pruning by the time the proclamation gets put together, but I would like to actually have some close as possible accurate numbers on the amount of trees pruned and the amount of hours this past winter, so we can add that to the proclamation along with, like the amount of trees we've planted this past year, and our total is X, so that would be helpful. Because I think
By when would you like that?
usually the proclamation is done, I think right around the same time the press release, so it's like the second week of April.
Okay, all right, I'll get it to you by the April 1st. Say.
Okay, all right, perfect.
Sue, could you email Vicky just to ask her to send heads up to the volunteers about April 18th, 19th?
Yes, I put that on my to-do list. And it's on my calendar to do that tomorrow.
That'd be great.
Jen, just following up on one of your questions about Smith Voc, the campus there, why would that be different from, say, the Northampton High School or JFK?
We can plant, like I initially started talking to them because they had removed some pines along Elm Street or Locust Street. I guess it's Locust Street there. And then anyway, there was a long conversation. So the structure of ownership, I don't know any other way to, maybe Rich, you can explain this better than I can, of because it has its own elected, like the ownership of the land is potentially different than the other schools in the city. Is that right,
Yep.
Rich?
I mean, I think the easiest way to describe it is that the Board of Trustees manage the school property, and they actually manage their own budget. So they are a separate entity, similarly to Forbes Library. So whenever we do work that is off of the public right of way in a situation like that, we like to notify, make sure that we can do the work, and then if so, just sort of quantify the plant material we're using, et cetera. So we've done plantings in the back of Forbes Library, but the trees in the back of Forbes Library have been all purchased by Forbes, and we've assisted them. But trees in the front that were in the public right of way which is the domain under MGL 87 of the tree warden manages, we planted. So I just want to sort of double check um, about us actually providing plant material in on school property, considering the way that Smith Volk's charter, I guess, is written in the city charter. That's all.
Yeah, because I've had a discussion with them about potentially, because I thought that, oh, it's a school, we could plant, So then after I talked to Rich, we, said, whoa, we better figure this out. And I have a whole list of, they do this forestry competition and for FFA, and they had a list of trees that's on the list for that competition that they don't have on campus. So I was like, oh, it wouldn't be cool for us to plant all these trees for this competition, and they can study them, and so but we do need to double check about the oversight, I guess, of the cross our T's and dot our I's, I guess. Yeah.
The other thing is that, Jen, are you going to circle back with Northampton High School about the seedlings and bagging them?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't contacted them yet. I ran out of time before I left, but I have
Okay.
that on my list. Yeah, to contact them. Yep.
All right.
I'll do that. I'll do that tomorrow or this week.
Okay.
Thanks,
I
man.
believe that I think I set the date for them to be delivered on. Hold on, let me just double check.
It should be,
I have you're going to bag them 13th to 17th.
yes, the week of the 13th to the 17th. So maybe they're being delivered that week.
My calendar. Yeah, seedling delivery on the 13th.
Yeah, that's great. I will,
Yeah.
I'll get in touch with him.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Okay. All right.
Page 1, not page 2.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Comments? I did receive a setback request,
Oh,
that's the first time I've had one since, let's see. Setback, let's see. See who it's from. Wow. Justin Richards, 90 Pomeroy Terrace. Says the city planted some lovely trees on our property 2 years ago. We recently had a large pine removed, so we have room for one more. It's a condo building, and I am the condo president.
could you please send me an email? I'm in my office in Amherst, and I don't have
Yeah.
all
Yep.
my Google Drives
Sure.
accessible here. Thanks.
Yeah,
In fact,
you want me to
I'm
put the contact, you want me to include the contact information as well?
yeah, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the sheet, the shared sheet where Christina goes,
Yep.
Mhm.
and alert her.
Okay. Yeah, I will take care of that after the meeting. I'll send that to you.
And I'm actually going to step out in a few minutes
Okay.
and go catch a bus home.
All right. Perfect. I will send that to you. Any other questions?
And I believe you gave me the takedown list.
I did.
Yeah, I'll find it.
I
Yeah.
have a question about Arbor Day when we get to that.
Yeah, I think. Anytime you're ready, Molly, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we're done with the planting thing.
Yeah, I just have 4 minutes now, so
Okay, my
jump in,
question
or
is,
we can
do you have
talk
a lot of
offline.
volunteers?
We haven't done that yet. Vicky needs
Oh,
to send something
okay.
out.
All right.
Do you want to be a point person on that?
Yeah, I can do that. I can do
Great.
it on Friday anyway. Um,
Super.
there is I sent you an email about this, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
if possible, there's a luncheon I want to go to at like noon for an hour and a half. If I could
Okay.
if there's enough people
Yeah,
to
you'll miss
cover.
our proclamation, but
Oh,
absolutely. Let's work together on it.
okay.
That sounds terrific. I'm thrilled that you want to be on site that day.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
great to have commissioners there,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to spread out the duties more. I've done it for quite a few years on my own, and you've helped last year, and that was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
If other commissioners want to, you're all welcome.
Sue, I sent you that request in an email. It just says setback request.
Thank you. I'll
Yep.
get it to Christina.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? So I will follow up with David. I'll follow up with you about next week. Jen will connect next week.
Yep.
Um, Rich, if you have a second, take a ride over to look at the trees on Bridge Road or take a drive by or a walk by.
Okay.
Kent, you're gonna formulate all that great data. Looking
Mhm.
forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And I'm gonna email the nurseries about the wedding bells from Chestnut Ridge. I have to check to make sure we have enough steaks for JFK. That's the other thing. I gotta find some steaks. I think we're a little short on steak.
Oh, there's a
Oh.
lot of stakes in the
Yeah.
shed.
Oh,
Yeah.
In the shed.
Do
perfect.
you
Yeah,
have a
we-
key,
I do.
Rich?
Yes. Yep.
We
Oh.
just moved them from the cargo container to there's a lot of them in there.
Okay. All right.
Because
Okay.
we
Perfect.
ran out and then,
Pruning, Larry. And I have to email Larry, speak from Community Gardens, talk to the parking commission, or the parking folks about trying to stage a spot underneath the bridge. I have to order green buckets. Trying to think of what else. I think,
the Smithville question and
Yep.
and Colin,
yep. So
the guy from St. Mary's Cemetery.
Smith Vulcan and St. Mary's. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you. Right. All right. I'll have to get my highlighter out because I've made a mess of this sheet I have. So if I don't get highlighted, I'll forget.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
I feel you.
Yeah, it's good. Colors are good. Any other questions, comments? Anything not anticipated by the chair people would like to talk about? Sue's got her hat on. That means she's leaving. So I think if everyone's
Yeah, I'm gonna catch the
Okay.
5:35
All
downstairs.
right. Perfect. So if everyone is good, then I will take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I move that we
Okay.
adjourn.
I
All
second.
right. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Bonnie, that's a roll call. I think close enough because Sue's running out
Yeah.
the door. So
I don't
thank
mean to
you.
rush others, though. You
No,
guys can stay
We're
and
done.
the
luxuriate.
meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks.